Are you looking to take more control in your life? Well, stay tuned. I'm going to share with you 3 decisions that can control your life that Tony Robbins shared with us yesterday. If you don't know me, my name is Jason Chaney, one half of a husband and wife team, and we're dedicated to helping you reclaim your physical and financial health. So today we're going to talk about 3 decisions that can control your life. I'm going to actually just read my notes instead of trying to remember everything. So bear with me if I'm not looking at you today. So the first thing he says is we all go through stuff. You need to recognize that. And the difference is between how we overcome stuff is, are you trying to control your focus and your decisions, or are you trying to control the situation you're in at the moment? He said, when we are determining our life, we actually delete most of what goes on in life, and we live what we focus on. So are you focusing on negativity? Are you focusing on not having money? Are you focusing on having more money, becoming more educated, finding new, better opportunities, moving to a different environment, society, culture like I did? What do you plan on focusing on? Because that is what you're going to actually start attracting more of in your life. And he said this: focus equals feelings, and feelings will feel like the truth. So what are you really focusing on? Because I know back in the day, I was focusing on negativity, just really, really bad things that had nothing good to do with my life. And it felt like the truth. I felt like I was living the truth of someone who couldn't be healthy, someone who couldn't make money, someone who couldn't have a healthy relationship, someone who couldn't be happy. And it was because I was focusing on that. And once I changed my focus, it really did open up different areas to my life and seeing how much more expansive my world has become. The second thing is that he says, we all focus on what we have and what is missing. However, how much time are you focusing on each? So like for me, I put on mine, I focus 70% on what I have, 30% what is missing. And he said, with this, the focusing on what you have, it becomes, you develop gratitude. You're grateful for the things you have. Like, you may not have the sports car, you may not have the money to go to fancy dinners right now, but do you have a roof over your head? Are you able to keep the lights, electricity on for your family? Are you able to have enough disposable income to buy toys and games and things for your kids? Are you able to have family functions on the holidays? Are you able to just have family get-togethers if you want to call everybody up? Everyone in this world is not able to do that. So if we focus on the things that we do have, we become more grateful, and the things that we want to have do eventually come through gratitude. And also with that one, he said 2 things that mess us up are fear and anger. Because a lot of times when we start focusing on what we don't have, we start getting angry and we getting fearful that it doesn't happen. And 5 minutes of anger can shut down your immune system for 5 hours. So especially right now when we're all, depending on what part of the world you're in, if you're locked in or if you're just afraid of what's going on medically, right now we do not have the time to be afraid. You can't live in fear. We need to be happy. We need to be grateful and show gratitude for every moment that we have, especially when we're in a situation where the whole world, depending on how compromised your immune system, we can't be living in fear. 5 hours of shutting down your immune system is very, very scary. And the last one, do you focus more on what you can't or what you can control? And this goes hands in hand with talking about how with the world right now, depending on where you're at, you may be terrified of what's going on. You may be locked up in the house. You may be in an area that's not being affected, which is amazing. But you may be angry because, like, why am I being stuck in the house because someone else is dealing with this? You have to control what you can control. Here's the reality. Every government is stressed right now in the world. Every governor, every president, all the people are stressed in the world. The police, the military, even here when I see them walking around, you can see the stress and the fear. You can't, like yesterday when I went out, I had to go through a checkpoint. Was it annoying? Yes, but that ain't something I can control. What I did control in that situation was my attitude. I treated the cop with respect, answered his questions respectfully, but also let him know, hey, be careful out here. And when I showed him compassion, his whole attitude changed. He was like, hey, just have a good day. Go on where you need to go. Like, what can you control? If you're, let's say, if you're one of the 30 million people that's unemployed right now, yes, that sucks. However, What can you control about it? Can you go out here and learn a new skill? Do you have the time now to scour the internet to start getting professional development, start getting different certified skills if you want to do that? Do you have ways to look into different industries if you want to do that? Do you not want to be in the employee quadrant anymore? Do you want to take a chance now to start learning how to get into the big business and investment quadrants? Let's say if you have a health goal right now, let's say you're afraid of, I'm really afraid of the virus, everything that's going on. Well, you know what? This is a great time right now. What can you control? You can control what you put in your body and how much you exercise. So if you don't have too many limited mobility or things like that, go walk around the block. You can do walking in the house. You can, there's YouTube videos to work out everywhere. There's no excuse. There's YouTube. I use YouTube workout videos. I even do Shanti's workouts now, his 5-minute burnouts, just on top, because it's stuff that I know I'm not able to do well. But there's so much things you can do now. Could you commit to just eating one big salad a day? Could you commit to doing 1 month of just supplements and actually doing it every month? What can you control? And I want to caveat that with, this is another good thing about what can we control. Tony said, mastery comes from repetition. We all have to start somewhere. So don't think that finish line is right when you start. It may be a year from now. It may be 2 years from now. It may be 10 years from now. Like he gave an example of a guy who was looking for Spanish gold and out in the middle of the ocean that was lost. It took him 16 years. Each year he had to come back to those people that invested and get more money, ask more money. But he believed. But also the repetition of looking. He knew what signs to look for. He knew what things to do. He started seeing the signs of the universe to see where he needed to be. And he reached his goal. And for me personally, I didn't go find $500 million of Spanish gold. However, I found a new life. And it took me a little bit over 10 years doing this. But it was worth it. I'm happy now. I can smile. I'm able to travel the world. I get to live in different countries and meet new people. I can fit in, something simple as being able to fit in a plane seat without needing a seatbelt extender. Most people don't know how that feels, having to get a seatbelt extender, but just for me being able to just get in a seat now, not needing an extender, not feeling fat, not feeling like I'm just over, I'm so big, I'm getting into everybody else's space, that's priceless. That's just priceless, and you can't beat that. And so I want to end this on one last quote from Tony, and this actually came from when he was a child on Thanksgiving Day. If you don't know too much about his story, he grew up in a very, very poor part outside of, I think he said it was outside of LA, a little small town. And his mom, dad, they wasn't the most financially fit. They was actually really poor. They didn't even have any food for this Thanksgiving. And someone, some stranger knew that they needed help. So he ordered groceries and had them delivered to him. He said his father was so angry, he just kept trying to close the door on the guy's face, and the guy told him, look, man, I don't know you, I don't know your family. Someone had paid me to do this, to bring these groceries to you. And he said these very key words that changed Tony's life, and maybe it can change yours too. Don't let your family suffer because of your ego. And in this state now where we're in the world, don't let your family suffer because of your ego. Don't be negative. Don't just sit and wait on the government to save us. There's still things you can do out here. The world has not stopped. The world is still going. There's still ways to do things. There's still ways to communicate with people. There's still ways to socialize. We're in a place now where we have to pivot. It's not about perfection. Life is about pivoting. And now it's just time to pivot to the new world that we're going to be living in. And it's going to be more social media, more internet. And that's going to be the life that we're going to. And Cece and I was fortunate enough to have the option to choose this, but most of you didn't. And I know how hard it can be. And I can only imagine the stress you're under, but this isn't the time to feel defeated. This isn't the time to feel like the world is collapsing on you, because this is the time where you can either change your family legacy or you can make your family on generational poverty. And that's not something that we wish on anyone. So if you're someone that's serious and you're really serious about looking for an opportunity and you want to learn something new, just shoot me a message. I'll share with you what CC and I got. No problem. It's free of charge. And have a great day. Ciao.